Hi everyone and welcome back to Before Bark. Today I'm going to give you a quick overview of how you should cut your dog's nails, what to watch out for when you're cutting them, and what are the best tools for the job. Now your dog has 4 nails on each paw with the 5th one located higher up on the pad, and that's called a dew claw. Each nail has a blood vessel in it. And if they are cut too short, they will bleed. So it's really important to be aware before you start to cut any of the nails where the blood vessel is and how to identify it. If your dog has white nails, it is very easy to see it. Simply look at the picture and you will see that there's a pink tone at the top of the nail. Follow this down with your eye to the point where the pink stops and there is just white left. This is the part that you trim, just the white bit. If your dog's nails are really long, it'll be very obvious to you where the blood vessel stops. As you can see from this picture, you can see that the nails are actually starting to curl in, so they most definitely need to be trimmed back. If your dog has black nails, it is much more difficult to see the blood vessel. My advice is to place your dog's foot flat onto the ground. If his nails are not touching the ground, then you don't need to cut them, as they've been ground down naturally. As you can see from this picture, the nails aren't touching the ground, so just leave them alone. Don't cut them. But always check the dew claw to see if that needs to be trimmed. This picture here on the left shows you a case where the nails are black and they are really long, so they do need to be trimmed. In this case, you just trim them back a little bit at a time until you get to the point where they are level with the ground, like the picture on the right. Now let's talk about your dog's dew claws. So dogs can have dew claws both on the front and the back of the paws. It's really important that you check these regularly, because if the nails get too long, they will curl around and can actually puncture your dog's skin, and the nail will start to grow and embed within the skin. This is really painful for your dog and it will cause a very nasty infection. The dew claw also has a blood vessel, so again, if you're trimming them, only take the tips off a little at a time if the nail is black, and if it's a white nail, you will be able to see where the blood vessel ends. This is the nail clippers I always use. I feel the spring action handles give me much more control over the trimming process and it cuts the nails super quick. This is just my preference, so if you use a guillotine style nail clippers or a nail filing device, that is okay too, as long as you still make sure you're aware of where the blood vessel is when you're cutting or when you're filing down the nails. Okay, so now we're going to go to the how-to part. Firstly, you can do this. If you remain calm, your dog will remain calm. They may move about at the start of this if it's the first time you've attempted it, but just give them lots of praise. But on the other hand, be firm so they know it's not a game, and don't give up too easy. Otherwise your dog will feel like they've won and will always do this. Repetition is the key to training your dog. Keep nail trimming as part of their weekly routine and they will become so used to it, it won't be an issue for either of you. My advice is to always put your dog up onto a table so you have more control over them. If you have a helper, get them to hold and to pet your dog to distract them while you clip the nails. Always clip at an angle, never straight across, as the tip of the blood vessel may be cut. Position the nail clippers either pointing up or down. Do one nail and then take a deep breath, because I'm sure you've been holding your breath this whole entire time in sheer panic. Okay, so sometimes, no matter how careful you are, the blood vessel is super long in the nail and you catch the tip of it and it starts to bleed. My advice is, before attempting to trim their nails, buy a pot of this Quick Stop. It helps to stop the blood flow from the quick. Then, if a nail bleeds, put some of the powder onto your finger and dip the nail into the powder. You can then apply some pressure with your finger onto the nail that is bleeding. Sometimes you may need to reapply the powder again after a minute or so, and then the blood will coagulate and the bleeding will stop. Overall, one of the best ways to avoid trimming your dog's nails is to take them for walks and allow them to walk along concrete or loose gravel. These hard surfaces act like a giant big nail file, and they naturally control and file down your dog's nails. It's a win-win situation for both of you. Hopefully, at the end of the nail trimming process, your dog will be just as happy as this cool dude here. Thanks for watching, and if you've any questions, just send them across.